Part 4, Real Life Examples, 5 Minutes That Change Everything. Wisdom from a monk with 50 years on the path. Hey there. I've been a monk for 50 years, half a century of sitting under ancient trees, sweeping temple floors, and listening to the heartbeat of the world. In that time, I've met folks from every walk of life, city slickers in suits, farmers with dirt under their nails, kids with dreams bigger than their hometowns, and I've seen one thing over and over: 5 minutes can change everything. Not a lifetime, not a year, not even a day, just 5 little minutes. That's all it takes to hit pause on suffering, to shift the weight, to crack open a door to something lighter. It's not magic or some far-off promise, it's real, raw, and right there for anyone willing to try. In parts 1, 2, and 3, I showed you how to face suffering, practice mindfulness, and let go. Now, let's bring it home with stories, real people, real messes, real turnarounds. I've watched this work wonders for hundreds over the years, and I'm gonna share a handful of those moments with you. These aren't fairy tales, they're gritty, human, and proof that the Buddha's wisdom isn't just old words, it's a lifeline. 5 minutes isn't much, but it's enough to stop turning challenges into misery. Let's meet some folks who found that out the hard way and came out smiling. The power of 5 minutes, a monk's view. The Buddha didn't promise a life without bumps, he knew the road's rough for all of us. Storms hit, people leave, dreams flop. But he showed us something better than a perfect world, a way to not let the bumps break us. That's what these 5 minutes do: mindfulness to see it, letting go to release it. I've been at this 50 years, and I've seen it flip switches in the darkest corners. It's not about erasing pain, it's about not letting pain run the show. I've sat with people in tears, in rage, in quiet despair, and watched them walk away lighter, not fixed, not perfect, just free enough to keep going. These stories I'm about to tell? They're not just mine, they're yours, too. They're proof you don't need a monk's robe or a temple to make this work. You just need 5 minutes and a spark of courage. Let's start with then roll through a few more lives that shifted in ways they never expected. The office worker who took back her night. Was an office worker I met in Ho Chi Minh City about a decade ago. She was in her late 20s, petite, with a nervous energy that buzzed around her like static. She worked at one of those big glass buildings, cubicles, fluorescent lights, the kind of place that hums with stress. One evening, she showed up at the temple, still in her button-up shirt, eyes red and puffy. "Teacher," she said, her voice wobbly, "my boss chewed me out today. Said I screwed up a report unfairly, I swear, and I cried all night. I can't shake it." I could see it, her shoulders hunched, her hands twisting the hem of her shirt. That scolding wasn't just words, it was a weight she'd hauled home, replaying in her head like a broken record. "He thinks I'm useless. Everyone saw. I'm done." So I said, let's try 5 minutes. Sit with me." We plopped down on a bench by the temple steps, the city noise humming in the distance. I walked her through it, breathe slow, 3 times, feel the air cool her down. "What's in your head?" I asked. She closed her eyes, and after a beat, she said, his voice yelling, "My mistake. I'm a failure." "Okay," I said, "watch it like it's a cloud passing by. Don't fight it, just see it." She nodded, breathing steady. "Now let it go, picture it drifting off, like smoke. You don't have to carry it." She stayed quiet, then whispered, "I don't need to lug that home." At the end, I said, "Smile, just a little." She did, a small, tired grin, but real. When she opened her eyes, she exhaled hard. "Teacher," she said, "I still hear him, but it's not choking me anymore. I think I can sleep tonight." And she did, slept like a baby, she told me later. Didn't quit her job or win her boss over, but she stopped letting that one bad day own her. She started doing those 5 minutes after every rough shift, sitting in her tiny apartment, breathing, letting go, and it became her shield. Last I heard, she'd even gotten a promotion. Not bad for 5 minutes, huh? Dung, the college kid who rose again. Then there's Dung, a college kid I met in Hanoi around 2015. He was 19, lanky, with a mop of hair that kept falling in his eyes. He'd roll up to the temple on his beat-up bicycle, usually quiet, but one day he came in looking like the world had caved in. "Teacher," he said, kicking at the dirt, "I flunked my math exam." First time ever. I feel worthless, like I'm nothing. His voice cracked, and I saw it, the shame, the spiral, the I'm a failure tape looping loud. Done, I said, 5 minutes. That's all I'm asking. We sat on a stone bench under a banyan tree, the kind with roots that twist like old stories. Breathe, I told him, 3 times, slow. He did, chest rising and falling. What's in there? I asked. I'm a loser, he muttered. I let my parents down. I'll never catch up. Alright, I said, see it like leaves on a river. Let M float, don't grab M. He squinted, like he was picturing it hard. Say this, I don't have to be that thought. He repeated it, soft but firm. Smile, I said. He managed a crooked one, half-hearted, but there. 5 minutes later, he looked up, rubbed his eyes, and said, Teacher, it's still bad, but I don't feel dead inside anymore. That was the spark. He got up, dusted off, and hit the books again, not out of shame, but grit. Next round, he aced it, math, of all things. I ran into him a year later, and he grinned, 5 minutes got me through college. It didn't erase the fail, it stopped the fail from erasing him. Mrs. Tu, the lottery seller who found her smile. Mrs. Tu was a lottery ticket seller I knew in Da Nang, maybe 20 years back. She was in her 60s, wiry, with a face carved by sun and time. She'd shuffle around the market, tickets fanned out in her hand, voice raspy from calling out numbers. But one day, she came to the temple, sat down heavy, and said, Teacher, I lost my son 5 years ago, car accident. I've carried it every day since. I can't let it go. Her eyes were wet, her hands trembling, a grief so deep it had become part of her. I didn't say much, just nodded and said, 5 minutes, Mrs. Tuesday. Let's try. We sat by a little shrine, incense curling in the air. Breathe, I said, feel it slow you down. She did, shaky at first. What's there? I asked. Him, she whispered. His laugh, the crash, the hole he left. See it like a cloud, I said, passing over, not staying. Watch it move. She closed her eyes, tears slipping down, but she kept breathing. Let it drift, I said. You don't have to hold it forever. She nodded, faint. Smiled, just a bit, for him. She did a flicker, fragile but warm. When she opened her eyes, she said, Teacher, it's still there, but it's not crushing me. I can talk about his jokes again. For the first time in years, she smiled, telling me how he'd tease her about her cooking. 5 minutes didn't bring him back, it let her carry him lighter. She kept selling tickets, but now with a little grin, like he was still nudging her along. More lives, more minutes, a tapestry of change. My, Dung, and Mrs. Tu are just the start, I've got a lifetime of these. Let's meet a few more folks who found that 5 minutes can rewrite the script. Javier, the cook who burned out. Javier was a cook I met in Saigon around 2018, an expat from Spain, big guy with a bigger laugh, until the kitchen broke him. He came to me one night, apron still on, grease on his hands. Teacher, he said, I'm burned out. Orders never stop, the heat, the yelling, I'm done. He'd been snapping at his crew, tossing pans, hating a job he used to love. We sat by the temple wall, city lights flickering. 5 minutes, I said. He breathed 3 slow ones, sweat still on his brow. What's cooking in there? I asked. I hate this. I'm failing. I can't keep up, he growled. Watch it, I said, like smoke from your stove, let it drift. He did, jaw unclenching. Say, I don't have to fix it now. He muttered it, then smiled, a tired, lopsided thing. It's still crazy, he said after, but I'm not the crazy one anymore. He went back, calmer, and started loving his spatula again. 5 minutes saved his kitchen and his soul. Lynn, the mom who found her breath. Lynn was a young mom I met in 2016, 2 kids under 5, living in a cramped Hanoi apartment. She showed up at the temple, hair a mess, voice frayed. Teacher, she said, I'm drowning. They scream, the house is chaos, my husband's never home, I'm failing them. She was running on fumes, guilt her fuel. We sat in the garden, toys scattered from her bag. 5 minutes, I said. She breathed, shaky, but deep. What's there? I asked. I'm a bad mom. They deserve better, she choked out. See it like leaves on a stream, I said, let him float. She tried, tears welling. Say, I don't have to be perfect. She did, voice trembling. Smile, for them, I said. A small one broke through. I can breathe, she said after. She kept it up 5 minutes at nap time and found her footing in the storm. Tang, the driver who stopped crashing. Tang was a truck driver I knew in the 90s, a burly guy with a quick temper. He came to me after a fender bender, nothing big, but it set him off. Teacher, he said, I'm done. Roads are hell, people are idiots, I can't take it. He'd been raging at every honk, every cutoff. We sat by his rig, diesel in the air. 5 minutes, I said. He breathed, gruff, annoyed. What's in there? I asked. Idiots. This job sucks. I'm gonna snap, he spat. Watch it drift, I said, like exhaust, let it go. He grumbled but tried. Say, I don't have to fight it. He did, reluctant. Smile, I said. He smirked, barely. Still mad, he said, but not exploding. He started doing it before shifts, 5 minutes by the wheel, and the road stopped owning him. Why it works, the Buddha's promise. These stories, Mai, Dung, Mrs. Tu, Javier, Lin, Tang, aren't miracles. They're the Buddha's promise in action. He didn't say life be smooth, no mean bosses, no failed exams, no lost sons. He said we don't have to turn those into misery. 5 minutes, breathing, watching, letting go, hits pause. It's not about fixing the outside, it's about freeing the inside. Mai didn't silence her boss, she silenced the echo. Dung didn't undo his F, he undid the shame. Mrs. Tu didn't get her son back, she got her smile. Javier kept cooking, Lin kept mothering, Tang kept driving, not perfect, just possible. I've seen it in 50 years, farmers after floods, widows after loss, kids after heartbreak. 5 minutes isn't much, but it's enough to shift the tide. 50 years of proof, it's yours too. Half a century, and I've watched this work for anyone who dares. In the 70s, a farmer named Bao let go of a ruined harvest and planted again. In the 2000s, a clerk named Kim dropped loneliness and found her porch. Last month, a teen named Min breathed through a bully's words and stood tall. It's not about where you're from or what you've got, it's about what you're willing to release. Mai slept, Dung aced, Mrs. Tu smiled, Javier cooked, Lin breathed, Tang drove, because 5 minutes gave them back to themselves. That's the Buddha's gift, not a life without challenges, but a life where challenges don't win. Try it, your 5 minutes. Take it from them, 5 minutes can change everything. Next time the boss bites, the test flops, or the grief hits, sit down. Breathe. Watch. Let go. Smile. It won't fix the world, but it'll free you from it. I've seen it, lived it, taught it, 50 years, and it's still true. Peace. Your friend on the path.